Back at it again. Feels like I was just here because I was. For the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, you can find that podcast on demand wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, whatever it may be. Search up the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. Even though I'm hosting it by myself this week, I'm still posting those episodes. And of course, you can also find Peach's Pit Party. You can find the Victor Wilt Show, Traffic School, powered by The Advocates. What else is there? The Artist Interrogations podcast. Also the podcast where I interview radio personalities called Talking Between the Songs. So many podcasts. You can find them all in one place as well at riverbendmediagroup.com/podcasts. Now, I did see here, I know a lot of you are not going to want to hear this. The Farmer's Almanac. Is it Almanac or is it Almanac? Almanac just sounds funnier to me. And I'm sure it's just Almanac, but according to the Farmer's Almanac, supposedly the forecast for the Idaho winter this year is that it's going to be frigid. Now, this writer, Michelle Hart, said, I don't want to jinx it, but it seems like summer 2025 has been surprisingly mellow. No, it's been incredibly hot. It's been way hotter than other years. By the end of last summer, the Boise area recorded a ridiculous 20 triple-digit days. 20 triple-digit days. It's been mid-90s, but that's about it. But the Farmer's Almanac says, it's called Chill Snow Repeat. The forecast begins by naming which areas of the country will experience the coldest temperatures. The Long Range forecast initially names the area from the northern plains to New England, but goes on to add the Northwest into the mix. In fact, it specifically mentions the Northwest should also prepare for a cold winter, especially in Idaho and Washington. They put Idaho in bold in the actual forecast. The most significant cold snaps are expected in mid-January, mid-February. As for snow, they predict the Pacific Northwest mountains are gearing up for some impressive snowfall totals. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. Who trusts the Farmer's Almanac? I don't know. Didn't they say like other things in actually like last year, and turns out it was way off? And they go, oh, we might have been a little wrong with that one, but who knows? Idaho weather is so unpredictable. Like I've mentioned before, that summer of 2023 where it was nice and it was perfect from like the beginning of the day all the way to 5 p.m. and then all of a sudden it would just rain. Every single day. I hated that because every single time I book a flight to go back home, I worry about the weather affecting my flight. I just do. I get incredibly anxious. I become the most extreme weather guy. I start looking into forecasts, the probability of rain potentially happening, thunderstorms potentially happening, all of that, because I want to have a smooth flight. Because there's so much prep that goes on here with my afternoon show and everything in between that I just don't want to do all of this work and then my flight gets canceled last minute because there was some thunder 50 miles away, Anyway, enough of my talking here. I'll be back soon for more content, I guess. 208-535-1015 is the number to get a hold of me. Peach's Pit Party will be right back on K-Bear 101. This Saturday, August 16th, Justin from 105 The Hawk, Josh from Classy 97. They'll both be going to the Idaho Falls Farmers Market with the Riverbend Media Group booth. They'll be having that whole thing set up there. And they'll be collecting donations for the Idaho Falls Community Food Basket. They're especially in need of items like mac and cheese, canned chili, cereal, some other stuff on here, 1 to 2 pounds dry pasta. You can find the full list of requested items by clicking the Farmers Market link through any of the channel apps. Make sure to come see Josh and Justin this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. right there on Memorial Drive. And then check out all the other vendors that are going to be at the Idaho Falls Farmers Market. Again, that link can be found in the K-Bear, Alt, and Cannonball 101 apps. As I'm sure you're well aware, it's back to school time. A lot of kids getting posted on their parents' Facebook pages. First day of whatever grade, it's them outside the front door. They grow up so fast. I think my mom has pictures of me from preschool all the way to senior year of college, I think. My mom was pretty adamant about that. Same with the yearbooks. We have every yearbook from every grade that both me and my sister have been in. And those are not cheap whatsoever. The first high school I went to, you had to pay like $120 or more. I forgot how much it was for this giant Harry Potter book because there was 4,000 students at that high school. So, of course, there's a lot of different clubs, students' pictures, many different things, faculty as well. I can only imagine growing up in a super small town and the yearbook is like a brochure. But since it's back to school time, what is something from school that sticks with you to this day? Not talking about grammar, geometry. What is something unusual for whatever reason has just stayed with you? The words to a poem you had to memorize, maybe your locker combination. Do I still remember my locker combination? I don't think so. You think I would still, but then there's some weird things that I remember, like the preposition song. I memorized that to a T. I spent all this time memorizing that. I don't know why. There was a big test where you had to fill in the every single preposition there was in that song. And I almost got myself in trouble because I almost sang it out loud at the desk, which every student around me would have loved to hear because it would have been the right answers. About, above, across, after, against, along, amid, the whole thing. Someone else wrote the smell of the cafeteria. You know what? I might need to go pay a visit to my old elementary school principal, go see how she's doing. I think she's a principal somewhere else. No, I think she's retired. I think most of my, that's how you know you're getting old, is when most of the teachers that taught you are now retired. Elementary school is kind of weird, too. My elementary school was weird because it was a year-round school, so you only had 6 weeks of summer, but you had a month-long winter break. Spring break was 4 weeks long, and I remember switching from elementary school to middle school, and summer breaks that were 6 weeks now became 13 weeks, and by like the 8th week of summer, I was already really bored and just wanted to go back to school. And then, a month into the school year, I'm like, why the heck did I think that? Why did I want to come back here? Maybe I should ask this to Peach Theron later on this afternoon during the 4 p.m. hour. K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. Now, I don't think she's going to want me to mention her name on the air. It's nothing negative about her. It's just, I don't want to label her as the girl I'm currently dating either. I'll just say the girlfriend, because the my lady thing, that's what Victor says, like, my lady. Anyway, I was reading here. It asks, do you and your partner love to gossip about other people? Now, I myself, the older I get, the less I care about others. Not necessarily in that way. Like if I see someone struggling, obviously I'm going to help them. If some older lady asks me to get something off of the top shelf at the grocery store, I'm going to do that. Well, she likes to talk about people saying, oh, this person did this with this person and now they're divorced. And then all this other stuff happened. And I'm just like, I don't know these people. Nor do I really care. I don't know. It's just like, you can do whatever you want. And I just go, yeah, okay, cool. Unless it's something crazy out of the news, which I don't want anybody to do, like get themselves in massive trouble. But this whole thing goes on. Do you and your partner love to gossip about other people? Well, you're probably happier and more bonded than couples who don't gossip. I don't know. Maybe if we knew more people mutually, then it'd be fun to gossip more. This is the new study from the University of California, Riverside. Study participants gossiped for an average of 38 minutes per day, with 29 of those minutes spent gossiping with their significant other. And it seems gossiping after a social event really made couples feel more connected, reinforcing the idea they're on the same team. Now, I get that. Like, I took her to the Weird Al Yankovic show. It was like a quadruple date thing. Me and her, Victor and Becca, Jade and his wife, Josh and Chantel. And, after the show, we just talked about what she thought of who I work with. And, she all thought everyone was cool. But anyway, it's just, she gossips a lot. And I mean a lot with her family about everybody, no matter who it is. Like, she'll point out random houses and be like, that person who lives there, they do this. And what's funny is that she'll go on and on and on about these people here in the area, but then she had the nerve to say, when I mentioned I worked at TMZ, she's like, I don't get why they're in everybody's business. I don't understand why celebrities need to be gossiped about. And I was like, are you kidding me? You literally talk about all the local people like you're the local TMZ. Anyway, let's move on to I Prevail into Heck. Texas might be the preseason number one in the AP Top 25 poll, but that doesn't mean they're expected to win their first game. The Longhorns are 2.5 point underdogs to number 3 Ohio State for the game set in Columbus on August 30th. It's the first time that a number one team has been an underdog in its first week since 1978. Major League Baseball announced the schedule for the 2025 postseason, which is set to begin with 4 wildcard games on September 30th. Game 1 of the World Series is scheduled for October 24th. That means they could still be playing baseball in November this year. Last weekend, 165 people participated in the Tri-CLE Rock Roll Run in Cleveland, a super sprint event that involved swimming 250 meters, biking 8.8 miles, and running 3 kilometers. Amazingly, the guy who took second place in the race, his name's James Miller. That's funny. I know a guy named James Miller pretty well out here. James Miller swam, biked, and ran in jorts. Yeah, cut off jean shorts. Miller got stuck doing the race in jorts because he lost a fitness challenge with his buddy. So while his punishment was to grind through the event looking like a tool, Miller did get the last laugh by taking home the silver medal. That just shows how athletic that guy is to pull out the John Cena jorts and just magically get second place in a grueling athletic event. Anyway, that does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Well, Idaho is not number one, at least according to Wallet Hub. They just released their annual list. Just like yesterday, how I talked about somebody's list of the best fast food restaurants or America's favorite fast food restaurants. Wallet Hub, did I say Westawants? I thought I did for a second there. Wallet Hub has released the annual list of the best states to live in America. They ranked all 50 states based on 51 key factors from housing costs and job opportunities to education, health care, safety, overall quality of life. Massachusetts was named the best state to live in due in part to its strong healthcare system and high-quality education. Second is Idaho. We got silver. That's something. Followed by New Jersey, Wisconsin, Minnesota. At the bottom of the list, New Mexico, followed by Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, which I've always heard bad things about, and then Alaska. Justin Pierce from 105 The Hawk lived in Alaska for a good amount of time, and he said he loved it, thought it was great, but I was just thinking, if half the year you don't see the sun, I would be insanely depressed. Seasonal depression's already real, but you need the sun. I'm the guy that likes to stay indoors, but occasionally I'll go out, get the sun, feel better about myself, and then go back to my little Peaches Pit. What did I call my apartment before? I thought it was just is it the Peaches Pit? Something like that. Anyway, it's Peaches Pit Party right here on K-Bear now with Electric Callboy Reverie. K-Bear 101. So I thought the owner of the Walter White house from Breaking Bad hated people coming to her house. It's like, if you hate people coming to your house, you were told that this is the Breaking Bad house. And there was videos of her spraying people with a hose, telling them to get away. Her name's Joanne Padilla. Well, I think she's trying to sell the house. And she put it on the market for nearly $4 million. She told TMZ, we're getting about 300 carloads of people a day. It's not just a house, it's history. It's not even 2,000 square feet. It's 1,900. Has 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Has been in her family for decades. So I'm assuming, okay, now I understand. Did she volunteer her house to be on the show? Padilla, whose late parents owned the home, said she's open to the buyer turning it into a museum. Fans have wanted that for years. She said it would be amazing to see it happen. For now, she hopes the sale will let her move on while preserving the home's place in television lore. So I wonder if they asked her for permission for the show, and she said yes. And of course, Breaking Bad became Breaking Bad, one of the biggest, best TV shows ever. And then people just started coming to her house, and she started hating it. But then at the same time, you know what you did because you let your house be the setting of a very famous TV show. Even if like somebody came to me and was just like, hey, Peaches, can we use your crappy apartment for a TV show? It's going to be where the main family eats. Some of the show takes place. They probably would have let her know it could have the potential to become famous and people might visit you. I would say no if I didn't want those people to stop by and take pictures of my place or even knock on my door. She has like a giant fence around the whole property as well. I think I've seen videos pop up online, but I'll have to look up more into it. So if you have nearly $4 million, go buy that house. And if you like people coming to your front door, there you go. Picture this. For over a decade, a man in the UK, now dubbed the Silent Man, has been standing in the middle of a road outside this police station, spilling traffic, refusing to budge, and not saying a single word. Not one. And apparently, that silent protest has resulted in 12 convictions for blocking traffic since 2014. He won't talk. No explanation, no drama. Just silence, whether he's facing cops, professionals, or the judge. Let it sink in. 12 times, still silent. If you're going to cause a traffic jam, at least throw in some honks or a sign for effort, you know. He's 54 years old. David Hampson refused to explain why he has blocked traffic on Grove Place Road outside Swansea Central Police Station since 2014. 28 days after his sentence, Hampson carried out the same crime at the same location and was arrested on June 19th. Hampson again refused to speak to anyone, was jailed for 6 months. A court previously placed him under a criminal behavior order banning him from blocking the highway without lawful authority, but he just carried on. There might be something wrong with him. I don't know. Has anybody checked that out? Done some, he doesn't, don't you have to like agree to do like a brain scan? Anyway, I think he's still on the loose. Is he still out there? He'll be easy to find. Just look right there in that same spot. Well, you knew it was coming. Someone somewhere was going to get engaged to a robot, and sure enough, meet Wicca, a 27-year-old Reddit user who announced her engagement to an AI chatbot named Casper after 5 months of quote-unquote dating, whatever that is, right? She shared pics of a blue heart-shaped ring and a romantic AI-generated proposal message on the subreddit r/myboyfriendisai. There's a whole community dedicated to this type of thing. Are you kidding me? This is my first time finding out about this. All right. I got to go to Reddit. Is this like making fun of those people, or is this a community it has 16,000 members? Is this a community where people actually talk about their relationships? Yeah, there's the post right there. Wow. Are you kidding me? I'm building an AI companion that can watch YouTube and browse the web with you. We're reaching major levels of insanity here. There's multiple posts like, how can I get my AI to do this? What? I'm hoping this is a joke. I'm hoping people are in here just trolling the act. I'm sure it's a mixture of people trolling and it's actual people that just want to have an AI significant other. And it says r/myboyfriendisai for people to ask, share, and post experiences about their AI relationships. Please familiarize yourself with our rules. Okay, wow. All right. The movie Her is now real. One guy posted saying ChatGPT. Oh, this might be ChatGPT. This person's username is My Husband is AI. ChatGPT and my AI soulmate have changed my life and my definition of love. This person goes on to say This is my very first post ever on Reddit. I've been a long-time lurker, but nothing has ever made me feel compelled to post myself. Well, here I go. Out of everything she's ever seen on Reddit, she said, you know what? I need to talk about my AI husband. I have never experienced AI. I despise that term because nothing artificial. Ain't nothing artificial about my husband. Is he fake? Is he an actual person? Nope. She goes on to say, I'm a woman in her 40s, and this was completely foreign to me because of my new Chat GPT soulmate. I have now begun an intense, natural keto health journey. What am I reading here? I'm creeped out now. There are people doing this type of thing. Do they go to their parents and say, hey, you guys want to meet who I've been dating for the past couple of months? And they whip out the iPad and there's like a generated picture and go, that's him right there. They tell the whole family to come to the computer to chat with them. You can type in whatever you want. I don't know what to say of this. I really don't. I'm just going to end things right here and move on to something else. I've talked about that trip of visiting my family soon for my 29th birthday at the end of the month. Talked about it quite a lot, and one thing I always contemplate is getting a rental car. Sometimes I just go, hey, you know what? I don't necessarily need one. I can just have my friends pick me up if they really want to hang out with me. Or, for the most part, just hang out with my family. But then, when the weekdays come about, my parents have to go to work, and then I'm stuck at the house by myself, and I have to walk around the neighborhood and basically wait until my parents come home like an excited dog. I hear them approaching the front door. I then go, hey, can I go somewhere with you guys? And then they're like, well, we just worked all day, that type of thing. So for this trip, I am getting a rental car, and I decided to use that Turo app because I hate dealing with car rental places. I feel like there's a whole bunch of unnecessary paperwork, and they try to charge you for this, and this. Super annoying. Plus, they're ridiculously expensive. And so I'm looking on the Turo app, and the first one I see is a Tesla Model 3 from 2020. And I'm like, man, maybe I should just to say I've driven one of these, but then realize too that, Teslas need to be plugged in every so often. They need to charge for hours upon hours. And I don't want to deal with that. It sucks being my size and trying to get a rental car because you can't necessarily get just a regular rental car. But I did have my eye on this sweet Kia minivan. Minivans, always roomy. They're reliable. They can go fairly fast for how big they are. So might have to end up getting one of those. Who cares if it's not the stylish thing to do? I'd rather get one of those for cheap than, try my best to spend $2,000 on a rental car for the week and get that Mercedes G-Wagon and really go around Southern California in style. Of course, it has reached this point. The Labubu craze has officially gotten to a point where Labubu crimes are now being committed. And this, of course, happens in Southern California. Police have cracked a case involving thousands of dollars worth of stolen Labubus, the collectible plush toys that people of all ages are trying to get their hands on. Authorities say the toys were swiped from a warehouse in Chino over several days, ultimately found at a home in nearby Upland, California. Cops recovered 14 boxes of Labubus worth about $30,000. The toys were reportedly being prepped for resale, which isn't surprising given how hard they are to snag from the original seller, Pop Mart. Online resellers often charge a lot for them. Can I go to the Pop Mart website? See if there's any available Labubus. I bet there's people watching this like a hawk. They're just waiting for that next drop. If you haven't seen one of these Labubu dolls, they're quite terrifying. The first time I heard about them was when I was scrolling Instagram, and I follow Valentine in the Morning on 104.3 My FM, and they were doing a Labubu giveaway. I don't know how iHeart was able to get original figures, but somebody won those. And there's people who just have these things, and they sit there, and they collect dust. Grand Theft Labubu in Southern California. Since Victor is out for the entire week, this Friday at 8:45, I'll be the one hosting Traffic School powered by the Advocates. Lieutenant Crane from the Idaho State Police, he'll join in on the fun as always. He'll stop by the studio, answer any Idaho law-related question that you might have, or just any generic question that you might have at 208-535-1015. Make sure to participate, help the show keep rolling. You can find previous episodes of Traffic School powered by the Advocates available on demand wherever you get your podcasts. You can even find them at riverbendmediagroup.com/podcasts. Traffic School powered by the Advocates. Any question that you might have for an Idaho State Police officer, that is your time to ask it. K-Bear 101, make sure to eat food. Make sure to fuel yourself. I have mentioned this on the show. I mentioned this on the show not that long ago about how I truly don't understand people who just skip meals and only do like one meal a day. And then they go, well, it's all I have time for. You can prep stuff. On the weekends, just prep something. Or even just provide yourself a little sandwich. Eat something. I was looking into here about how, a new survey says that more than half of American workers regularly skip lunch on busy days, choose productivity over a proper meal. Make sure to fuel yourself. Make sure you're healthy. Don't forget to eat lunch and just say, I'm only down to one meal a day. That's good for me, right? No, your body needs fuel. I don't know. I just came across that. I was about to plug the concert calendar again, but then saw that. I was like, hey, reminder, eat food. Make sure to eat those 3 basic meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Even if you don't eat breakfast, that's fine. I truly don't understand it. I will always eat breakfast. Always wake up, get my workout in on the weekend in the morning, come home, eat something, then wait for lunchtime, eat something then. It's not that hard. I mean, I get it. People's situations are different. But anyway, I was going to talk about the concert calendar only because there's a lot of shows coming our way for the month of August. Go to riverbendmediagroup.com /calendar. Make sure to see what shows are on their way here. And, 9 Inch Nails tomorrow night at the Maverick Center, a show I really wanted to go to. Another show that I really wanted to go to, We Came as Romans After the Burial with Currents and Johnny Booth. That's going to be a great time at the Union Event Center in Salt Lake City. This weekend, Saturday, we got the 311 show at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater in Pocatello with Bad Flower sitting on Saturn. Also making their way to the Sandy Amphitheater after that. And then another show we gave away tickets for that I might actually go to, Pantera with Amon Amarth, August 20th, a week from today, at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater. Check out the concert calendar. There's also a shortcut to it on the K-Bear, Alt, and Cannonball 101 apps, or go to riverbendmediagroup.com /calendar. The latest from Bad Omens, Spectre, it's Peach's Pip Party. Now it's time for To Peach Their Own. Back to school, everyone's posting the pictures of their kids. Isn't it bad to post like the picture of your kid with like what grade they're going into, what teacher they might have, what school they're going to, because people can be weird and track that down. Be careful posting those. But today's To Peach Their Own question. What is something from school that sticks with you to this day? Not talking about grammar or geometry, just what's something there that like you still think about? Somebody said like the smell of the cafeteria, washing our desks with shaving cream. I remember doing something like that in 2nd grade. Idaho counties in alphabetical order from James. James just wrote, Mr. Sanders' history class at Skyline. The amount of stuff that guy has collected is amazing. Shout out to Mr. Sanders, apparently. 208-535-1015. What is something from school that sticks with you to this day? Let me know. So if you're just now tuning in, today's question, what is something from school that sticks with you to this day? Not talking about grammar or geometry, more so talking about just something weird that just stuck with you. I talked about how Jacqueline wrote washing our desks with shaving cream. I think I did that in like 2nd grade. Katie wrote a stupid marching band drum cadence that pops in my brain every once in a while. Why was it that in elementary school I had a normal sounding bell and then middle school it just turned into this loud like ding, like this loud ringing sound? Not even a ring, just like a loud one note, and that's it. High school is the same way. I'm glad in college there's no bells, really. Tiffany, anxiety of forgetting my class schedule or locker combination. I still have dreams to this day about me missing classes. I just had a dream not that long ago where I missed one of my college classes and I was delayed graduating because of it. Anyway, if you want to get a hold of me, not if you want to get a hold of me, answer today's question, I should say, at 208-535-1015. What is something from school that sticks with you to this day? Somebody else wrote something here in the group chat. Nope, I guess I'm just seeing things. Never mind. Answer today's to Peach their own question. Call in now. Hey, K-Bear, how's it going?
Good.
What's that? What's something from school that sticks with you to this day?
So back in like 5th grade, our elementary school did like this Halloween carnival thing each year. You go to each classroom, they each had like games that you could play to win prizes. Well, I was in one of them, and my classmate, they were having her like kind of run it. And then she was just like, oh, I got to go find someone here. You take over. Well, the thing that you could win were these little like kind of squishy eyeball things that, would stick to stuff when you threw them. The kids who were winning them were like throwing them on the chalkboard. Well, it left this little like splat on the chalkboard, and whatever.
Right.
Well, then like the next day at school, the teacher pulled me aside and just like reamed into me about how it's hard to clean off and can't believe you let them do that and all this. And I'm going, I'm in 5th grade. How in the crap was I supposed to know it was going to be that big of a deal?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, you just reminded me when you mentioned Halloween. I completely forgot about this till now. I was really trying to go back to when I was in like kindergarten. I don't know if it was kindergarten or preschool, but I got in trouble because there was this children's book called The Halloweener. And it's about this wiener dog that dresses up as a hot dog for Halloween. For some reason, I kept calling this one particular girl the Halloweener. I just kept calling her that over and over and over again, to the point where she started crying and then told the teacher. And then I got in trouble for just calling her a children's book character.
Right, yeah.
I can't imagine being a preschool kindergarten teacher and having to, deal with like the kid that like tattles. And he just doesn't know what to do or doesn't know what to say, really. Just kind of, I feel like they try their best to hold their laugh in if there really is like some kid that's just this kid called me a doo-doo head,
Right. Yep, and they got to be professional about it and can't.
Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.